Welcome. Here is the news update on Ukraine for the 18th of September. Somebody leaked photos of the Russian submarine Rostov-on-Don, which got hit by Ukrainian missiles or most likely Storm Shadow. The bow of the submarine received a direct hit. Additionally, there is an impact at the starboard side. 4 Republican senators are urging President Joseph Biden to promptly provide ATACMS long-range missiles to Ukraine, as reported by the Interfax Ukraine news agency, quoting their statement. "We write to urge you to immediately send MGM-140 Army Tactical Missile Systems, or ATACMS for short, to Ukraine. Additional delay will only further undermine U.S. national security interests and extend this conflict." According to the senator's statement, the provision of ATACMS would empower Ukraine to target critical Russian logistics and communications facilities, as well as launch sites for cruise missiles and drones in the territories of Ukraine currently occupied by Russia. In particular, the longer-range unitary warhead variant of ATACMS should be sent without delay. The recent Ukrainian strike on Sevastopol naval port using the British Storm Shadow long-range weapon demonstrated the battlefield effectiveness of such weapons, the statement emphasizes. Furthermore, they assert that supplying missiles to Ukraine would increase the likelihood of success in its ongoing counteroffensive and future operations. ATACMS could also bolster Ukraine's capability to dismantle Russian defense formations. Russia has allocated a substantial sum of $25.6 billion to compensate the families of deceased soldiers and an additional $21 billion for soldiers who have been wounded. President Putin had previously issued a decree earlier in the year, stipulating payments of $68,800 to the families of the fallen soldiers and $41,300 to those injured in service. These figures provide us with valuable insights into the potential Russian casualties, assuming an absence of corruption and money laundering. Based on the expenditures made by the Russian government, compensation has been disbursed to the next of kin of 372,093 soldiers who lost their lives in the line of duty. Simultaneously, payments have been made to 508,474 soldiers who sustained injuries while serving. Summing up the figures from Russian expenditures over the past 18 months, we arrive at the following casualty statistics. Killed in action, 372,093. Wounded in action, 508,474. Total casualties, 880,567. Western companies operating in Russia have earned billions in profits, but the Kremlin has blocked them from accessing these funds, aiming to pressure unfriendly nations. In 2022, companies from these countries generated $18 billion in Russian profits out of $20 billion reported by overseas firms. They also made up $199 billion of the $217 billion in Russian gross revenue. Due to a dividend payout ban on businesses from unfriendly countries like the US, UK, and EU members, these earnings remain locked in Russia, with few withdrawal permits granted, leaving tens of billions trapped. Many foreign firms have tried to sell Russian subsidiaries, but Moscow's approval is needed, often involving significant price discounts. Recent deals include British American Tobacco and Volvo transferring assets to local owners. Austrian bank Raiffeisen reported the highest 2022 earnings at $2 billion among unfriendly origin companies still in Russia. US firms, including Philip Morris and PepsiCo, generated substantial profits, as did Swedish truckmaker Scania, the top earner among companies later withdrawing from Russia. US-based businesses led in total profit with $4.9 billion, followed by German, Austrian, and Swiss companies with $2.4 billion, $1.9 billion, and $1 billion, respectively. These inaccessible funds add to international businesses' financial challenges due to Russia's Ukraine invasion. European firms alone reported €100 billion in losses and write-downs from their Russian operations since the invasion. For instance, Wintershall, a German energy group, recorded a €7 billion non-cash impairment after the Kremlin expropriated its Russian business, leaving about €2 billion in locked working interest cash due to dividend restrictions. Ukraine's new Minister of Defense Rustem Umerov is getting down to work, firing all his deputy ministers, many of which had been associated with corruption and incompetence. This signals real change. Thank you for watching. If you like this content, please consider clicking the like button and subscribing.